Now we're going to look at the edit mode. To get into edit mode, select any shape and press the tab key. That'll take you into component mode, where you can look more closely at the faces, vertex points, and edges of a shape. First, we'll look at vertex points or vertices. I'm going to select one of the points that are around this cube and press the full stop key to zoom in on it. They're essentially the corner points of a piece of geometry. It can be moved like any other object by pressing the G key and dragging your mouse around, left click to place it where you want it, or right click to return it to its original position. To give you an idea of how these points all connect together to create an overall shape, I'll just grab a few of them and move them around, and you can see how they are the structure points of any piece of geometry. The second component mode of a shape is the edge mode, which you can get to by clicking up here in the top left. Now the vertex points have disappeared and we've been left with only the edges of the shape. They function in a very similar way to the vertex points, where you press the G key and you can pull them around like this. You can also rotate them by pressing the R key and rotating them like a shape, or scaling them by pressing the S key and scaling them like a shape. The third and final component of edit mode is face mode. Now, the vertex points and the edges are no longer selectable, and instead you grab the entire face of a shape. Again, just like with the other two component modes, you can move a face around by pressing the G key, just like with a shape, or you can press the R key to rotate a face around, or you can press the S key to scale a face. When you're in edit mode, there are many tools to expand upon, manipulate, and modify a shape like a cube. The one that we're going to use in our first lesson is the loop cut tool, also known as edge loops. I'm going to click on the loop cut icon and bring my cursor, which is turned into a crosshair, over to the shape. When I hover over the shape, a yellow outline highlights where it's going to cut my shape. And when I click, it adds a cut into the shape. If I move over now to vertex mode, you'll see that vertex points have been added. And if I return to select mode, you'll see that I can click on these vertex points and move them around. It's essentially added more detail to this shape so that I can further create more interesting shapes. The yellow indicator line will jump around the shape depending on where you put your cursor. When you click, if you don't let go immediately, you can move that cut point around, and it's not until you let go that the actual cut is made. So I might put one there, I might put one in the middle there, and then I might come down here and move an edge loop cut up here and an edge loop cut down there, perhaps one there as well. So you can see now that this cube has been divided into many different sections. And again, if I return to face mode and return to select box, I can click on these faces and move them around to create more interesting shapes.